Hey, Viking fans, this is Keith Millard, and you are listening to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. Go Vikes!
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupicus Show. On this fine morning after round one, I'm One Bar with Lupicus. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about five guys that may be worth trading up for in round two.
We might even talk about Five Guys, the restaurant, and their delicious fries.
I've never eaten. I don't know. Never eaten at Five Guys.
I think I have once. I don't remember. So the Vikings, they got plenty of ammunition. They have 4 third-round picks now, 3 fourth. So a lot. If they want somebody, they can come up and get them. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, and let's. I mean, I would say the chances are probably much heavier as far as they are going to go up and get that some second-round pick. It's going to happen by the trade value chart. It appears it would take us 2/3 to get into both the middle of the second.
Yeah, and we're gonna hit who fell. I mean, there's some great players still on the board. You saw some surprise picks yesterday. The Alex Leatherwoods, Peyton Turner. I feel like there was Joe Tryon sneaking in the first round. So there was a big group of guys, but there were still some players that many thought for sure were gonna go in the first round who are still available. So we're gonna talk about those guys who are definitely worth giving up some picks to move up to get.
Yeah, worth moving up to grab and probably be damn near a day one starter. So let's get into it. I'll give you the reins. Who do you want to start with?
Well, I think the first one is a guy we both would have been fine with at 14 had the Vikings chose to go that route. It's safety Trayvon Mulrig from TCU. This guy really can do it all. He's aggressive, can come up, play the line. He can play the deep back end. He's got some ball skills to him. Great instinctive player, and I think he would actually come in and push Xavier Woods for that starting role as a rookie. He's the one guy I really would love to see this team come up and get.
Yeah, Mulrig is the beautiful safety out of this class. It will be interesting. I mean, there's still a handful of safeties after that with all those thirds, all those fourths. But to package that, get this guy would be fantastic. He could be the future at the safety position. So yeah, I'm very surprised he is still there. Very surprised.
Yeah, you got to worry about Jacksonville picking first there. They were already linked to this guy earlier in the first with their second pick there. So I would be shocked if he's not the first pick of the second round, but you know what? You can never really predict how these things are going to go. So if he starts to fall, the Vikings could definitely move up and grab him.
Yeah, we've seen safety slide before. Who knows? Maybe everyone sees the thick class of them in the mid rounds and just waiting. All right, let's go to next one. Defensive line, Carlos Boogie Basham. Another guy that could have went in the first round, and it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do, or if the Vikings were thinking when they traded back to maybe hopefully get a Jalen Phillips or a Kwity Paye. They definitely need edge rushing help, and he's a guy that could be a day one impact player.
Yeah, I think the Vikings really wanted to get a starter on the O-line and then potentially a guy who could start on the defensive line across from Dylan Hunter. And yeah, Basham is the guy who's there, who I think makes a ton of sense. Not really like an explosive pass rusher. He's more of a kind of a technician when it comes to pass rushing. Kind of likes to see plays off those blocks, uses his hands, then he just explodes onto the quarterback. So I think Boogie Basham again comes in, could compete with Weatherly, Wanham, whoever it is on the other side, and see some significant playing time in year one.
Yeah, I would love a trade up for him.
Yeah, and again, I think this is. They're going to be watching these guys, and they start to slide. I think that's when you're going to see the Vikings pounce up a little bit. Remember the year when we got Eric Hendricks? I mean, we were holding our breath watching him fall, and finally the Vikings moved up and got him. So I could see a very similar situation unfolding tonight.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for starters. Damn it. You got another one? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, I got another one. It's wide receiver Elijah Moore. They were talking about him early 20s last night. Titans are a popular spot for him. I know there was Titans players kind of campaigning for the team to take him, and for whatever reason he slipped all the way to round 2. He had teams who needed wide receivers. The Packers picking late. I thought for sure they would have snapped him up. This guy is explosive, great route runner, and you should Google or YouTube his touchdown celebration when he got in trouble for pretending he was a doggy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it is fantastic. And I was very scared the Packers were going to take him, but that made too much sense for them to do that, so they didn't. Guy is just a complete game breaker. Looking at some of his numbers, I mean, he's averaged 13 catches for 200 yards in his last 3 games. He's a monster, 5'9", does it all. He would be fantastic with Jefferson and Thielen.
Yeah, and I think he can be a returner too. So you got that element which Vikings still need to improve on. So Elijah Moore would be a home run pick.
Yeah, he's beautiful. He's got to be one of the first names off the board.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's no reason he should be on the board right now.
All right. Another guy that, again, a fringe guy that will probably be hearing his name called fairly quickly is one of our favorites, Landon Dickerson, guard center from Alabama. Imagine getting him along with Darisaw, double dipping at that offensive line, and you're shoring up your offensive line with that. I mean, obviously he'd be playing guard, gives you that backup if Garrett Bradbury does end up blowing over the next year or two. So Landon Dickerson, he's my number one. He is my number one guy that I would want them to trade up for right now.
Well, and let's hope they're not done with the O-line. We've seen the Vikings do this before. You address it early, then you don't touch it again till late. I want to see him solidify this. Let's do it. Let's get that guard. And again, if you get a guy like Landon Dickerson, who does give you some potential play center too, to back up Bradbury in case he does struggle again, then you got that figured out. So how nice would the O-line be of Darisaw, Dickerson, Bradbury, Cleveland, and O'Neal? I mean, that is much, much better than it was a season ago. So yeah, whether that's Dickerson or another guy, there's Wyatt Davis is still out there, Quinn Miners is still out there, Cree Humphrey, there's plenty of options. So
getting excited.
I hope they do it. I hope they do it. I hope Rick Spielman wants to get this line fixed and he uses one of those picks on someone like that.
Yeah, I want another offensive lineman, whether they're trading up or they wait till round 3, get a guy like one of the guards, and then do it again. Get a David Moore in there. Somebody.
Get some competition.
Draft time yet or what? I'm getting excited.
We got a few hours to kill still. Yeah, let's hope the Vikings do it. There's just been too many times where they don't finish it. Don't finish it. Let's finish it this time. And Dickerson, how fun is this guy? I mean, he did his bench press and bib overalls. In the background of Mac Jones' interview, he's doing freaking cartwheels. Looks like he'd be a great locker room guy. Add a lot of fun to that offensive lineman room. So I think it'd just be a home run all across for Landon Dickerson.
All right, final guy on the list, Ahsante Samuel Jr., cornerback. And this is just kind of best of both worlds. The value is there and the need. We know we're going to need to continue to add corners at some point in this draft, and why not go with one of the best? He's not the tallest guy, but very, very technical savvy. He's got all of it down. He plays bigger than he is, and I think Zimmer could have a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, and he's also very physical. This guy, he's not big, but he will hit you. He will throw you to the turf. Kind of a mean little bugger, and you love the bloodlines. You know, being up, his dad being Ahsante Samuel the first. This kid's been around football all of his life, understands the position, understands the offense is what they're going to do, how they're going to attack you. He's got his dad's brain. He can pick if he's ever got a question or about any kind of situation or the way an offense is lining up. So I love that. That's really a huge intangible. And again, Mike Zimmer's going to want a corner at some point. And this was the guy who was kind of a fringe first round talent, still on the board. So yeah, this would be, I think he'd be worth moving up for. Because like you said, we're going to need that another corner with the Gladney situation up in the air. And then Peterson, Alexander only being signed to 1-year deals.
Yes, sir. Those are 5 guys, but just a couple other names keep an eye on. There's Tevin Jenkins, Christian Barmore. Who else is out there? Dylan Radens. A lot of very good players left still.
Yeah, it's
Richie Grant.
Oh yeah, Richie Grant. It's the Joker's still on the board too. Another guy we probably should have talked about as a piece that Mike Zimmer could have a lot of fun with what you can do with the Joker. So yeah, there were some surprise guys to see on the board here. Barmore, just because we went D tackle in free agency doesn't mean we're not going to take him. Look what the Broncos did. They added 2 corners in free agency and they still took Patrick Surtain. So I think Barmer's definitely in play too. So it'll be exciting. A lot of good talent. We picked 66 if we stay put, and that's the second pick in the 3rd round. So
that's Quinn Miners territory there.
Yeah, it is. So that'll be exciting. It could be Richie Grant territory. It could be some real tasty players. But I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later, aren't we?
You're damn right. The just ideal situation. We trade up into the 2nd. We still have 2/3 and we have 3/4. That would be insane.
Yeah, and you get like an impact player. So it's going to be great. Can't wait. So we'll be back throughout the day with plenty of vids to keep you satisfied, whet your appetites until draft kicks off. Was it 5:30 tonight, I think?
I thought it was 6.
I think they started at a weird time. It's
Look it up. Don't go off Galapagos. Your heart might be broken.
I break a lot of hearts. And so did this young lass. The world's youngest grandma was 17 years old.